So thank you for tuning in. This is the first, show if you want to call it, for Fat Guy Hockey and Wrestling. So what are we doing today? Why do I got the computer out here? Why is there a ton of traffic out my window? I have no clue why. It's like 1 in the morning right now, but we're going to do a fantasy trade. We're going to do a fantasy trade because tomorrow, which is technically today because I'm on the East Coast, is the NHL entry draft. And there's a lot of speculation going on. There's a lot of rumors going on, and I'm gonna make a little fantasy trade right now with my boys right here, the Calgary Flames. Gotta represent. I want to do a little fantasy thing here, and let's get it started. So right away, I'm going to say this: it's involving my Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens. Now, for those who don't know, but you should be knowing, the Montreal Canadiens right now hold the third overall pick in the 2018 NHL entry draft, and they're destined to pretty much fuck it up and get a center when they don't need to, because the best player, I guess not need to is the wrong way of saying it, but honestly, they should be going for somebody else. That would be what a smart GM's doing, but Montreal's so like, oh, we're just going to go draft a center. Which is telling me that Montreal has no ambitions to win fuck all. They're just going to get a center to say they got a center, just to kind of shut their fans out while they figure out how they can fix their problem of being a French elitist asshole from Quebec, which is what the team is. And if they were smart, they would just go with Zadina or Kachuk or Dobson or one of the other guys that better fits and is a better player. Why would you take your third when you can have a fifth or a sixth? Or why don't you, trade? And that's what we're doing here today. We're going to be doing a trade for that exact third round pick. So right there, I've already told you what Montreal will be offering. So in this trade, the Montreal Canadiens are offering up their third overall pick in the 2018 entry draft to the Calgary Flames. For those who don't know, the Calgary Flames do not have a first round pick. They're actually not going until I think 103 in the fourth round. So Calgary needs a pick. They traded away their current pick that they had to the New York Islanders for Travis Hamlin, which isn't a bad deal at all. I'm not against that. If they were to redo, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, they would redo it if they could. But what they mean is that they probably give out another pick or a couple other picks to go with it. They probably wouldn't go right ahead and just like give away that one. They would have known. So right now I'm on cap friendly as I'm doing this video, and I'm going to use that for some information here. So Calgary and Montreal are right around the same spot for cap size. Their projected cap hit for Calgary is about 62.5, where Montreal is about 60 for the upcoming year. So, like I said, Calgary needs well, they don't need a pick, but they could definitely benefit from a pick. And Montreal needs a center. So, what can we do here? Now, most people don't, or some people don't know exactly who all Calgary has, but in center they have Sean Monahan. Now, it would be foolish for them to get rid of their future captain, Sean Monahan, or I think it might be Kachuk, but it'd be foolish for them to get rid of that. So, they have another guy. They have another guy that would actually benefit Montreal. This guy right here gets about 40 to 50 points per season. He's going to get you those Galchenyuk numbers that you lost in that Max Domi deal. And I'm talking about Michael Backlund. I'm talking about the second line center for the Calgary Flames. But that's not all who I would include. So that third round pick is going to get you a really good player. So in return, Montreal should be getting a lot for that pick. So they're going to get Michael Backlund. Now, Michael Backlund has, if I'm not mistaken, and let me check here for you to make sure I give you information that's correct, because I know how you folks on the internet are. You're definitely going to criticize somebody if they don't come correct. Michael Backlund is going to have a hit until 2023-24 at $5.35 million. I would expect, if I was to do this trade, Calgary would keep about 60% of that. Calgary would keep about $3 million is what I put Calgary on the books for the rest of the night, and I would give that to Montreal for $2.35 million. And that for your second line center is a hell of a deal. And not only would I do that, but I would also give them Sam Bennett. That's right, the 4th overall 2014 pick, Sam Bennett, would be part of this deal. So Montreal would get 2 centers, and Bennett can go on the left wing. Now, Bennett's had a bit of a rocky shake there in Calgary, but one thing about Sam Bennett is that if you were to give him another chance, put him in another city, give him a change of scenery, you don't know what you can get from him. And not only that, but he'd be on this year for under $2 million. So Montreal wouldn't really take on a whole beefy contract, and it's a restricted free agent, so they can offer him a fairly decent deal. And you're getting a former, from not too long ago, first round pick for your 3rd overall pick, and you're getting your second. So you're getting your second and third line center. And I've been looking at Bennett's numbers recently. He's playing 82 games a season. He's there day in, day out. He's not having injury problems, so you can rely on him. Not only that, but you have him in a change of scenery where he's not, a third line guy, or he would probably be a third line guy, but if you put him in a different team where the expectations are like a little different, because the thing is you're going to package a bunch of guys to Montreal. Montreal has Domi. It's just a whole different feel. You never know. This could be the spark to get, I believe he played for the Kingston Frontenacs, I believe it was. So you can get him back to those junior league level playing. And there you go. You got 2 centers. 2 guaranteed NHL centers. Better than the Copenhagen kid who you're going to put all this pressure on, barely speak English, let alone speak French. You're going to ruin the kid if you put that kid up there, and that's the thing. That's what you got to look at it this way, too. Montreal is already telling us they're going to shit the bed on this pick and go for a center when they should be getting someone who's more talented. We already know there's going to be a problem with Montreal. So that's why I'm saying this is why we should do the trade. And I'm just trying to figure out, there we go. I'm just trying to get a good listening there. So we already know what Montreal is going to be doing. So we already know that. So that 3rd round pick loses a bit of its value. It's kind of a 7th or 8th round pick, or 8th overall pick, I should say. So you get the former 1st overall Sam Bennett. You get the 47, I think, points as a backline guy. And then not only that, but I want to correct to make sure that I did get this right, because there's going to be a 3rd piece to this trade. This is a fantasy trade. So full disclosure, I know YouTube's full of idiots. Someone's already going to be commenting and saying, "This wouldn't happen." Oh, no, I get it. It's a fantasy trade. It's fantasy, all right? So this doesn't have to have an exact reason behind it. This is just like, if I was to make a trade, this is what I would end up doing. This is what I would offer to Montreal. This is what I would put to the table and say, this is what I think you should do, because you're already looking at getting a center. Why not take Backlund, Bennett, and we'll give you Mike Stone. We'll give you Mike Stone on the D. He's a 5th line, or a 6th line guy. Sorry, 3rd line guy. He's your 5th defenseman. He's a right-hand shot. And you know what? We'll take $1 million of his salary too. So we'll give you all these guys right here. We'll do it for $7.5 million for 3 players. You're paying, just a little more than, you're paying $2.5 million for each. And there you go. You got 3 guys. You totally rechanged the roster around. Montreal needs defensemen. They're looking at probably getting rid of Alsner. And then you got those guys, and you still have all those 2nd round picks that you could probably trade 2 2nd round picks for to get a late end, 28th, 29th, whatever. You could maybe trade Stone and get a late 1st round pick. Who knows? You could bundle him up in something else. Look what San Jose did. Like I said, it's all fantasy. It's all gravy. None of this doesn't make sense. And so what I'm just saying is that if I was the GM of Calgary, I'd be offering these 3 guys to get this 3rd round pick. And this is what I'd be presenting to Montreal. So that's all I'm saying is here. So what I want to know is if you were the Montreal GM and I came, knocking, and I said, hey, look, I'll give you, 50 some odd point Backlund, I'll give you Bennett, and I'll give you Stone, and we'll do that 3-piece deal. By the way, I'll, shave off like almost $4 million in cap space. I'll retain that for the rest of their contracts. Here you go. I really want that third. Would you do that deal? What I want to know is in the comments below, would you do a deal like that? 3 pieces with a good chunk of salary retained, at least 60% on one, 30% on the other, and Bennett you have to pay the whole amount on. And you would also get Bennett as restricted free agent, so you get a bit of a deal. And again, he's a former first rounder from 2014, 4th overall. So you're getting somebody, and they're all NHL experience. This kid from Finland or whatever, he may be a dud. He may crack under the pressure. At least with 3 pieces, you can move one around. You can move them all around. At least you have something, because Montreal's going to blow it. So who the fuck cares? So please, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Down at the bottom, put all the information out. Tell me what you think of this. And then finally, what I think Calgary should do with that pick is they should draft Brady Tkachuk and have the Tkachuk brothers play in Calgary. I think that'd be phenomenal. M and B, have them together and kind of build the team around a younger thing. And I will say this. A lot of people say, well, Calgary's going to get rid of their second or third line centers, and their fourth line center was Matt Stajan. So what are you going to do? Well, we have Mark Jankowski from 2012. First round pick, Mark Jankowski. So there you go right there. You have Monahan at first, Jankowski at second, Curtis Lazar at third, and then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I will check again for you to make sure I am giving you accurate information, but you have Dylan Dupuis, who's already signed to a deal, 19 years old. Put him in there. Put him in. Who knows? Put Lazar on the fourth, put Jankowski on the second, put Dupuis on the third, and see how it works. And you have Spencer Fu, and if not, the season was a dump. At least you got Brady Tkachuk, and you dumped off a couple contracts. And then for defense, well, you sold Mackey, bring him up. So then you'd have your Brody, your Hamlick, your Giordano, your Dougie, Mackey, re-sign Pulock. If not, Oliver Killington, Rasmus Anderson. There's quite a bit of guys. So that's my fantasy trade. Sorry. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think. This has been Fat Guy Hockey and Wrestling. So thank you. I appreciate it. Have yourself a good one.